Okay, Shalom, Shalom, Kwam Yasha Allah Koholoimala, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Bahashim, Kahakadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, that by the Spirit taught us His beautiful truth. Just want to say the water to all the H.I.M and Akhwath that's out here sincerely, keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh to the best of their ability. Shah Khanan Nawaf that's coming at you with another quick lesson, praying that is edifying by the Spirit. And really, I just wanted to go into some of the comments on this particular lesson here of this, this article, Salakia. And this is the military. They're giving up a little bit of information. And when they give information, you got to kind of, filter it, man. But it says NATO chief warns Ukraine is using an enormous amount of munitions and firing them faster than alliance partners can make them. So basically, they just shooting off everything and they're not hitting nothing, basically. It's got to be the case. Because you let America tell you, from what we've been seeing in the news, and I seen that in a couple of people's comments too, in here, that they was talking about, hey, how America keep telling you that Ukraine is pushing Russia back. Russia is using old equipment. Russia can't do this. Russia's not doing that. But in the meanwhile, a year later, Russia's still pushing through there. Now you have NATO, which is, about 30 countries. Basically, it's like 30 countries against this one, because they're supplying Ukraine, or at least America is. I think Germany just kind of stepped up and gave them some tanks. I think France, all these NATO nations that, got a little bit of something to offer, they're giving up. But it's really America, the ones that's really, giving up the most equipment and money. And the taxpayers here in America are sick of that shit now. They like, hey, hold on. But see, what did they do when they first started this shit? They came on TV, gave you this song and dance. They showed you the pictures of the little children. Look at the children. Oh, I can't believe it. Look at the mothers. They gave you this weakness. Had everybody all over America running around with a fucking Ukraine flag, having damn parade. Marches everywhere throughout because they had them here where I'm at, running around with the blue and yellow flag, and people's feeling all sympathy, and they was giving up all the until that inflation kicked in on the asses, and now these eggs is damn near $20 a carton. Now the American people are like, hey, look, hey, hold on, bro. What about the other European countries? Because that shit is in Europe's front yard. Why aren't the European nations handling the bulk of that instead of the U.S.? And when it comes down to us so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we shouldn't have any of our money taken out of our checks to be sending to no fucking Ukraine. Matter of fact, we shouldn't have no money being taken out of our check to do anything for America. They don't want to give you no reparations or nothing. But what are they doing? They taking taxes out of your money every week, every 2 weeks, or whenever you get paid. And they sending part of your money to Ukraine. And then they send a part of your money to Israel and all kinds of other places. They putting your money towards the LGBTQ. You see? And that's why I always say repent to the Father, man, for sins that we've committed knowingly or unknowingly. Because it's out of our control, but because we disobeyed the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh, we are in a country where we're being used on a day-to-day basis to promote sin because of the sins that we committed, you see? So we have a lot of iniquity as a family of people. But let's just go off into some of this, and I'm going to read a few of these comments and grab a couple of scriptures. It says Ukrainian forces are using a massive amount of munitions to fight Russian troops on the battlefield, and the intense rate of fire is putting a strain on Western stockpiles. So what are you so-called Americans going to do if somebody get at your ass? You done gave all your guns and bullets away to somebody else. It don't make no sense, man. That's stupidity. It says, in defense firms, amid efforts to back Kyiv war aims, the NATO chief warned on Monday. Speaking ahead of a series of meetings with NATO defense ministers this week, Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg, you already know that sounds like a small hat, said the military alliance plans to strengthen its deterrence and defense capacity in the face of Russian threats. This involves long-term planning to increase NATO's defense industrial capacity, he said, and replenishing various stockpiles of munitions that have been sent to Ukraine to help the country fend off the invasion. The war in Ukraine is consuming an enormous amount of munitions and depleting allied stockpiles. So why would you see? This shit is backfiring on them if this is true, right? The current rate of Ukraine's ammunitions expenditure is many times higher than current rate of production, Stoltenberg said. This puts our defense industries under strain. He noted that one example of this is how the waiting time for large caliber ammunition has jumped from 12 to 28 months. The solution, he added, is to invest in the capacity to produce such weaponry and increase the production. In whose pockets you think that's going to come out of? See, Ukraine's allies have provided tens of billions of dollars in weaponry. And where do you think most of them tens of billions of dollars come from? Probably all of it came right here from the U.S. out of your taxpayers' dollars, man. But you can barely afford groceries and gas, man. I'm telling you, this place is wicked as hell, man. Okay, it says Ukraine's allies have provided tens of billions of dollars in weaponry and ammunition since Russian forces launched a full-scale assault on Ukraine nearly a year ago. Last spring, Pentagon officials said security assistance provided by the U.S., which has sent more military aid to Ukraine than any other country since February 2022. And why are they doing this? Because they want that shit to go along with NATO. It's a strategic place for them as far as NATO goes. It's not for you Americans. It's not for, it's for an elite set of white people, man. So-called white people, man. Shit is not for anybody else's use and good except for their own to bully and run across the planet and fucking steal whatever they want to steal when they want to steal it. It says, but repeated arms shipments to Ukraine have put a strain on U.S. stockpiles, sending the Pentagon searching for ways to beef up production of munitions and artillery. In doing so, Washington has even tried searching for solutions by looking into stockpiles from other non-European countries. Among the nearly $30 billion in security assistance that the Biden administration has sent to Kyiv since February 2022, that's a lot of money, man. I'm telling you, man, you damn Americans, you should be pissed about this, man. And you're starting to see it because when I'm going to read some of these comments, you're going to see. It says the U.S. has provided a heaping pile of munitions, including millions of artillery rounds, mortar rounds, and anti-tank weapons. Aside from these efforts, other NATO members and partner countries in recent weeks have increasingly pledged to send advanced weaponry to Ukraine ahead of what officials had previously described as looming Russian offense. So these NATO nations, they really ain't done shit. But they just started to really just kind of get into it and give up a few things. This includes commitments to send much sought after main battle tanks and other heavy armory. They should have been sent that shit. Meanwhile, Stoltenberg said on Monday that the ongoing war, which has become a grinding and bloody campaign in Ukraine's eastern Donbas region, has turned into a race of logistics. Key capabilities like ammunition, fuel, and spare parts must reach Ukraine before Russia can seize the initiative on the battlefield, he warned. Speed will save lives. So you already know what it is, man. You know what it is. And if this story is true, don't you think that Russia know this? Because these countries do reconnaissance. They know what's going on, man. If this story is true, then they're telling on themselves. Why would you tell the entire world that, hey, we're getting low on ammunition? Unless it's just some sneak tactic type shit. But the main thing, like I said again, was the comments in here is what I wanted to really get to. Let's get to some of these comments. This person says, quit begging for more American tax dollars. Europe needs to seriously step up. It's a war in their front yard. Let them deal with it. America has enough problems as is. Yeah, you right about that, buddy. It says, you're telling me the 20 plus countries donating equipment can't keep up with Russia that has been using equipment 50 plus years old. I don't believe it. They just want to manufacture some more rah-rah for per tax dollars. Hey, this person says, nailed it. Every day we reading about Russia is weak, but now the news about NATO and U.S. can't keep up with weapon supply doesn't make any sense. Ukraine selling equipment, weapons on the black market. I believe that. The government don't send as much as they claim. Money laundering. Russia is stronger than what our media is actually telling us. And it is. This person says, quit your whining. Nobody said freedom was cheap. Hell, we should be supplying more, or Russia's going to be knocking on our front door. Now, Russia going to be knocking on your front door anyway, because it's just biblical. And if they knocking on your front door and you don't have shit to fight with because you sending it to somebody else, it's just stupid. This person says, Jerry well said. Another person says, you have no clue what you're talking about. Supplying more is going to cause us to be in a very serious war with Russia. And if that happens, we have a very low stockpile of weapons because we've sent $100 billion worth of cash and weapons to them. It's not our way. And Russia is only going to attack a NATO country because we keep antagonizing them. And that's true. How's about we try to stay out of a nuclear war? It's not going to happen. I'd like to live a few more years. I don't know about you. There's a massive war in Yemen right now, but no one cares about those people. Of course they don't, because why? The so-called white man is a goddamn liar. You don't see America running over there trying to help those people in Turkey. If they cared so much about humanity, like how they claim they did when they first went into Ukraine, hey, all war shit would stop. They would say, hey, look, Russia, man, hey, look, we're gonna cut it out, man. Let's go help Turkey. We need to help Syria. Nope, they're not gonna help those people. They don't care. Because they've been lying all along. Like, hey, they give you this song and dance as if they care. But they don't, man. You see what I'm saying? Well, let's just go into a few scriptures real quick. I'm not going to keep this long. I just, when I seen the comments, because I seen this story earlier. And this is just what's happening, man. The so-called white man. First off, let's get this one scripture, because he's telling on himself if this is true. He's such a damn liar, though. But, hey, I believe this, because America is really the only one, man. Look, you have school shootings, suicides, pill rate, overdoses. You got gun violence. You got people starving, people hungry. They can't afford the food for the inflation. They can't afford gas to get back and forth to work and their everyday things, man, to do. And here you go. You're over in a whole nother part of the world trying to so-called save somebody else. Man, it's incredible, man. Incredible. This is Psalms 64, verse 8. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. And that's exactly what you're saying. They're telling on each other. Why would NATO? I mean, this could be true, because I can believe it, But why would NATO get on, because I seen this actually on Euro News. Why would they tell the world that they're running low on bullets and shit? Why would they put that out there for Russia to know? Wouldn't Russia use that particular intel to further their agenda, so to speak? I would. I would. But hey, we keep it basics with the basic scriptures, man, that's going into this. And there's a lot of stuff going on out here, man, in the backdrop right now. There's a lot of stuff going on, man, in this first part of 2023. Because you're just a quarter of a ways in, man. Not even 2 months has passed through this place, man. Matthew 24:3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am the Mashiach, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. See? Those wars and rumors of wars is on deck. See? I'm sitting here watching this, the 3 students that got killed at Michigan State. I see one of them looking like a young Jake woman, a young Eve. The other one's looking like Edomites. Ended up catching up a little Jake. Yeah, hey, it is what it is, man. Our people go to these universities and try and make a better life for themselves. Or if that's what I'm... Well, anyway, let's move on here. It says, for nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. See, what do you think is going on over there in Turkey, man? Hey, those people, they don't even have a damn place to stay. It's cold as shit out there. You know, they all out there with a damn bonfire trying to stay warm, just outside in the midst of the elements with blankets. Why isn't America trying to help them out? Isn't that a NATO country? You know, you go send a few people over there, you know, to go and help dig a couple of things. You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about, like, where's the actual help for your NATO ally? But nope, you know, they hate Turkey right now. Why? Because Turkey is holding up that you know, Poland and Sweden, I think that is whatever them two countries is. They're holding them up from actually getting involved with NATO, because NATO want those countries. NATO wants Ukraine and those surrounding countries around Russia to get involved. And that way they can set up nuclear weapons in those particular nations once they become NATO partners. And then, hey, they have backyard access right there to Russia. And them Russians is not going for it, man. They're like, oh, hell no, you're not about to set up shop right here in my backyard. And you can't blame those people for that. But like I said, hey, you got the earthquakes going on in diverse places. You got the pestilence going on, all these damn diseases, these plagues, because there's all kinds of shit still going on out here. Now they talking about your ass can catch bird flu. They go along with your chicken eggs being expensive as hell. Then you got the famines, of course. Man, there's a lot of people going hungry right here in the Americas right now that can't afford food, man. The fucking groceries is through the roof. Then they're stagnating the food stamp program. They're actually, you know, slacking back off of the COVID funds, because a lot of people got over during COVID. But what they didn't know was what was to come, and they're in that situation right now. Now you got the senior citizens. Their Social Security money is not going as far as it used to go. You know, they're living on straight budgets, man. They going hungry. They choosing between medicine and food. You see what I'm saying? Now you got people that was smoking cigarettes, then scaled back to some smoker's choice. You niggas done went from Newport to smoker's choice. You know what I'm saying? Or just done quit it, you know, altogether. I didn't even see women talking about how they, you know, they're not getting their nails and eyelashes and hair and all this other shit done like how they used to. Hey, they doing that shit themselves now, which they should have been doing all before. So people are trying to save, man. And you have no idea what's to come, man. This place is through. I was just kicking it with a gentleman at the supermarket a little while ago. And he was agreeing with me, but, you know, and then some damn devil come through, some damn old ass demon. You know, some nigga looked like he in his 70s come through talking about some complete bullshit. While I'm, you know, kicking it with the two brothers, they was all older gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? But I'm kicking it with them and they listening. They like, man, you know what, you right. And then here comes some other 70-year-old. He's on a damn cane, come through talking about some shit that ain't even had nothing to do with what we was even getting into. Like, I'm your old ass demon, man. Anyway, kind of pissed me off. I'm just like, but it didn't matter though, because, you know, I spoke to him just for the amount of time that I was supposed to speak to him, man. Because man's goings of Yahweh Bashim was shy. You know, those people that the Lord want to get this truth, they're going to get this truth. But the ones that don't, you know, it's just not going to happen. You know, but the damn enemy came through. Just as the scripture talks about, the enemy comes to steal, man. He came and stole that word right out of them right real quick. And they all went to giggling and got into some silly shit. Some old ass men, man. Anyway, I just wanted to touch on this, though. So, hey, just beware, man. And we're definitely in the last of this thing, man. And there's been a lot of stories, man, that may seem weird to the average eye or ear, the average person, man. These stories, especially with these unidentified objects, supposedly that the U.S. done shot down. You got all that going on. It's a lot of stuff going on, man. A lot of stuff. But in the meanwhile, Jake out here trying to get his ass into a Red Lobster. You know, to get his woman some shrimp and shit for Valentine's Day. You know, trying to get his woman won't even cook him a goddamn meal when he get home from work, but he's spending all his money today to show him that he loves her. So, hey, but anyway, with that, I pray that this lesson was edifying. Kwam Yashala.